This lesson will walk you through the planning process for an argument essay. As a reminder, you have two options for plans that you can use for developing an essay at this level. You have your basic 6-paragraph plan that has 3 of the body paragraphs supporting claims, with a 4th body paragraph addressing the counter-argument, also known as the counterclaim. Or you may choose to structure your essay with all 4 body paragraphs addressing the counter-arguments first, which then follow up throughout the rest of the paragraph as a refute. This lesson will model using the basic argument plan for writing a 6-paragraph argument essay. So let's get started. Once you go through the brainstorming process and choose a topic of interest, making sure this topic will present you with 3 different supporting claims to develop your body paragraphs, you are ready to engage in the planning process. Although you can use a 1-page plan, as we showed you in the planning notes, because this level requires you to integrate some text evidence from reliable sources, we recommend structuring your plan on 2 pages rather than 1, giving you more space. I chose to model this process using the topic of a 4-day work week. The purpose of this paper will be to explore the benefits and aim for readers to also advocate for this shift in a shorter work week. I started by exploring the research that was out there on this topic. I first went to Google Scholar, which is where we encourage you to start as well. Although Google Scholar is great, you will notice that you will face some hurdles at times. For instance, as I clicked on articles that I felt would be beneficial and support my argument, I was also finding that many of them required payment to access the full article. I did not want to pay for the information, but this did not stop me from exploring various articles. I continued to skim through the options to see if any of them would be helpful in supporting my claim. Unfortunately, I didn't have the best luck on Google Scholar with this particular topic. So I chose to explore some other options for reliable sources. I went to The Conversation, which offers reliable and fairly recent news articles. Sure enough, I found this one here, which looked perfect. I see this was published March 23rd, 2023, and as I scroll through, it seems to match a good amount of information that I'm looking for. I found a few examples from The Conversation, and rather than printing the information that I want directly from this page, which you can certainly do, I personally like to create a separate document where I can copy all of my resources. This allows me to delete some things that are not needed, such as images, which I think sometimes just wastes ink on my printer. As you see here, I am simply going down the middle of this page on the website, getting the information that I need by highlighting, then hitting Control-C for copy, and then I go to my resource document and hit Control-V, also known as Velcro or paste. I proceed by taking out any images that I don't want, and I customize this document. I also make sure to include the author, and I also like to add the link of where I found this information. This offers an easy reference when needing to go back to the article. Although little steps like this may seem like extra work, in the long run, I find it to be very helpful, and it helps me stay organized with the information that I need to later have on hand. Now it's time to dig into the research and also organize my notebook for the plan. As you see here, I'm setting up my notebook with my I for introduction. I'm including the topic, the purpose, and 3 lines that will indicate the supporting claims that I will be addressing. I am also including the CC, which stands for counterclaim. I proceed by breaking the rest of the paper into 2 sections labeled 1 and 2. These will be my first 2 body paragraphs, which will indicate 2 of my supporting claims. I go to the next page. I break this into 3 sections, with 3 and 4 being the largest space on the paper, and C represents my conclusion. The CC that I have labeled next to 4 stands for counterclaim. Again, we also can label this as CA as counter-argument. Now I'm going back and filling in the important information. As you know, my topic is a shorter work week, and my purpose is to explore the benefits. The counterclaim is that it disrupts business, and some argue that it makes people less productive. My 3 supporting claims, as I'm putting them currently, include employee satisfaction, more productive, and environmental factors. You will see as we go through this process that this can sometimes end up being revised. The planning process is intended to give you a chance to change things up and really solidify how you want your paper to be organized. So now I break up those claims into where they would be according to the paragraphs. So I have 1 indicating employee satisfaction, 2 with an indication of employees being more productive, 3 I labeled as environmental factors. And 4, I include the counter argument where it states some argue it disrupts work and less productive. I proceed by adding some of my own ideas that would be included as supporting details. I enjoy this process as you will want to have a mix of your own thoughts and evidence from reliable sources when you go to write on the document. Next, I'm choosing to color code my supporting claims and my counterclaim in order to organize the information that I find in my research. I have labeled employee satisfaction with my yellow highlighter, more productive with an orange highlighter, environmental factors in green, and counter-argument in red. This will later help me sort my information into the right section. It also helps alleviate the process of having to go dig for what I am specifically looking for. As you can see, I'm engaging in both text annotation and highlighting according to the information that I find and where I believe it will fit later in my argument essay. Once I go through this process, I go back to my plan and add the information, making sure to indicate in parentheses where the information came from according to the author's name. As you see here, I wrote Veal, and next to this note, I jotted down resounding success, less stress, less burnout, less fatigue, better physical and mental health. There is no need to quote directly from the article on your plan. Make sure to just include the general idea and where the information came from, and that will later offer enough assistance to support you in the writing process. I continue to do this with all supporting claims and my counterclaim. When I come to the end of the information that I had already gathered, I realize I did not have as much information as I thought about the environmental factors. This made me reconsider what I may want to include for that supporting claim, which led me to explore what other information is out there. As I went through this process, I decided to rename my supporting claims to be job satisfaction, productivity, and overall well-being. So I went back to my plan and I crossed some things out. I put them in different places depending on where they would now belong. This required me to take some of the things that I had originally included under employee satisfaction, such as families struggling with childcare, and move that to the overall well-being paragraph. I changed my color coding for green to now represent overall happiness instead of environmental factors. Once I made these adjustments on my original plan, it felt like I lost a lot of space and it was a little hard to follow with all the cross-offs. Therefore, I chose to go ahead and rewrite my plan. As you see here, I'm doing the same thing as I did originally. However, this time, my 3 supporting claims include job satisfaction, productivity, and overall well-being. I'm resorting my information accordingly, as I know this will later be beneficial. I continue to go through the final process of highlighting and text annotation with my new information. Keep in mind, If you find an in-depth article, you can simply skim through to see if you can find information that supports what you're looking for. You will want to get the general gist of what the article is discussing. You want to make sure that the information matches your goals for your paper. This can be found in what is called the abstract or the introduction of the article. As you can see, I am sorting the information where it belongs and making sure to include the author. This will be extremely helpful when looking for direct quotes later. Remind you, the plan is only intended to get your thoughts and research organized. Therefore, you do not need to include complete sentences or even quote directly from the text. You can do all of this later. Finally, keep in mind this process takes time. Although the video is a fast-forwarded version of the process, gathering the information and sorting it properly takes anywhere from an hour and sometimes even more. So really take time to collect the correct resources and go through the process of planning your writing. Strive to Write promises you, taking this necessary step will ensure you are ready for the next phase and you will be able to dive into composing your argument essay with ease and confidence. We hope this lesson was helpful in guiding you in the planning process. As always, happy reading and writing, friends.